What's up, y'all? This is maybe a slightly different video than we're used to, but today, get some gloves on. We're looking at a HP laptop. And this HP laptop is having trouble turning on, so I will say I already looked into this. The owner of this laptop said that they did not have any water damage. However, there is an issue with the keyboard, so we're not getting any power, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Henry has screws. Henry has removed the screws and disconnected everything. So actually the power button is the power button is on the keyboard. So because they are connected, this is not going to work like that. We're not going to be able to turn it on, but yeah, basically looked like that. So those were the symptoms. I don't actually have to get this out, but just make sure I'm gonna use a pry tool just to be safe. No, I don't really need to. So yeah, let me actually get this over here. Get some light. Generally not over here at this desk, so a little bit oops, a little bit out of my comfort zone. Kind of have the camera in the area that I would stand. However, we have some replacement parts. We actually weren't sure if it was the keyboard or the what's it called? Or the trackpad. So we just went ahead and went the safe route and ordered both. So I have the trackpad over there. Just pulling out the keyboard right now. Now, with this type of keyboard, where it's like not a non-removable keyboard, it's honestly best to get, search up keyboard palmrest. Make sure you include palmrest, because otherwise you'll get a keyboard with some issues with no palmrest, and it's just a little it's a lot more involved actually. There are little, I don't know if we can see, this is the new guy. Looking fresh. Looking pretty good. It's obviously looks a little secondhand. You can see a few smudges and, but for the most part there's not really many dents. But you might be able to see these little, I forget what they're called, it like fastens into the palmrest like that with these, I forget what they're called, but it's kind of a big deal. Not brackets, grommets, something like that. But you have to kind of like melt them if they're plastic. If they're metal, good luck. So it's doable. it's just really involved. So what we want to do is pretty much take everything. We have speakers, we're gonna, you know, we have the new trackpad. We're gonna maybe test this one, but I think we're gonna, you know, if this one works, we'll keep it. But if not, we do have the trackpad, put all the speakers, you know, obviously the screen, board components, and everything, and that's pretty much it. So, okay, so to start, obviously we're gonna have to get to the, you know, we're gonna have to unplug something. So the battery's actually unplugged, if you can tell right there. And I'm gonna just take a look, see if I can find it. I think this is it, yeah. So we have the battery and the charger. Put that to the side as well. And we're just gonna take all these screws out. Really simple stuff. I actually kind of got into the repair business because I, you know, I started with laptops. If you ever have a screw that's kind of not catching quite right, you just put a lot of downward pressure and you should take care of it. Just put that right there. But yes, laptops are kind of what got me into the repair industry because growing up, I didn't have like a gaming laptop. I mean, when I was in middle school, it's kind of when I 2010, 2013. It's when I kind of got into, you know, computer games, had my own laptop and everything. And, you know, I didn't have a gaming laptop, but I always had a desktop or anything like that. I always had a laptop, and so, you know, things go wrong, things break, especially when you're a little, you know, middle schooler. So I would open up my own laptop. I think my first laptop that I owned myself was an Acer. It was before Chromebook. It was an Acer Netbook. If you know what that is, it had probably like a Pentium processor, and it was Intel with I believe it was half a gig of RAM. It was not the greatest laptop, but you know, it's kind of funny. I did learn a lot with it. I mean, it was actually pretty tough. I think it was one of the tougher ones that I owned. I don't think I ever, you know, broke it. I don't think it ever broke, but you know, I had game servers, Minecraft servers, and I played games, and even though the games were running at like, you know, 10, 15 frames a second, I thought it was really cool, and I thought it was really fun. So yeah, you can see I'm trying to make this video under 30 minutes because I just got done recording another video and I'm running out of space on this camera. So it'd be nice if we could get this done. I mean, it's not taken so long. Kind of halfway done, almost. Of course, we gotta check our work once we're finished. that is it for that. And now really just the trackpad. I want to try and keep it. If we can. I mean, it seems to work with the trackpad plugged in. Really seems like the only issue is the keyboard. Honestly, these HP, Dell, Lenovo, I mean, they all make their laptops so cheap now. Powerful, but really, you know, flimsy. I mean, look at this keyboard. Yeah, look at this flex. This should not be happening. But nonetheless, that's about it for our old piece. Now actually, I could be wrong, but for some reason, no, I think I'm wrong. I was gonna say I thought this one was real metal, but no. I mean, they're both real metal, they're both aluminum, but yeah, so I'm just gonna see if we forget anything. Check all the little details. This one comes with the Kensington lock, right? That's what that is, something like that. Ooh. And you know, I just noticed this. Did not notice that before. So, see where they were selling this. Just gonna make sure. All right, don't want to eat up into our time too much, but this is fixable. Can use one of these to kind of get the shape right, maybe that, and we can also just take a pair of pliers, get in there, but I did check the listing and it said new, which, okay, I don't really mind a few dings, but come on. This is just banged up. Yeah, I've been playing Persona 3 Reload, which didn't get it on release day, even though I wanted to. But it's Persona 3 was my introduction to the series, so I really had to get it. I mean, I didn't have to, but I was excited for it. And let me just say, if you haven't played it, I know it's crazy they didn't add the features from Fez and P3P. They didn't add some of the features, but so I understand, you know, $60 game, don't really want to bend that, and then there's going to be the DLC. As well. It's going to be an extra, what, like 40, 30, 40 bucks, something like that. If that is, if they don't do the same thing they did with Persona 5 Royal, but it's a great game, I'll just say that much. It's a great remake. So, let's see if everything fits decently. But I think I was saying this, these cheap, I mean, you can see obviously the frame itself is, you know, quite cheap and bends quite easily. Let's see if it still fits. Okay, so it does fit. How well does it fit? Let's find out. Gonna probably have to do some more work to make it look as good as possible. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the times, especially I had this Dell laptop that the keyboard, the way these ribbons bend and they're so cheap, they just, you know, they can fall, literally just fall apart. And, you know, the keys will just stop working. It's a few keys, and then like sometimes one key is in and out, and then it'll stop working altogether. And usually there's a few keys that are on the same track. So it's a pain, and then you have to replace the keyboard. If you want to be able to use it, obviously you can still use it without the keyboard, but this kind of laptop, I think it's not really worth having without a keyboard, because it's no graphics card, no dedicated graphics chip, so you know, you're not really going to be using it as a heavy workstation. Really, just the use case seems to be light work, you know, typing while you're in class, or like, you know, web surfing, research. Not really desktop material. Can't really play many games on it. Really want to line up the antenna. Otherwise, you'll have Wi-Fi issues if you get this part wrong. And I do want to secure the fan and maybe give the keyboard a couple of screws, but good idea to test it before we get too far into, you know, into everything. So maybe couple of keyboard screws, or sorry, board screws. Okay, I think it's this screw. Not that it matters just yet, we just want to get to the point where we can test it. I had a laptop that the hinges broke and didn't really realize that was a fixable, like easily fixable thing if you order the, you know, depending on what it is, usually it's the, either the, you know, screen bezel, the screen, like the back or the bottom cover, or sorry, the palm rest loses one of the screw posts, but I was unaware, and I just oh, you know what? This trackpad is not supposed to be like that. I can't believe I just now realized that. Let's fix that. Okay, that should be better. It's actually not better. Dang, I gotta learn to check these things. Hi, welcome in. Okay, so as you can see, we have the mouse working. Try to get the mouse on screen. Open up. Well, the battery just fell out. Let's try that again. All right, and we had a customer. I'm just gonna put a couple screws for the bottom cover, and it looks like we're gonna finish before we get to 30 minutes. I think this is actually the right screw. It's not the right screw. And I did my best with these corners, but they're not very pretty. very functional. So we're trying to get a replacement, speaking with the seller, the supplier, and gonna try to get a better option. So you see the trackpad is flush now. It's proper in there. You know what I mean? And yeah. CMOS. And there we go, we get boot. So yeah, we're gonna see if we can get a better case sent in. Clean up the screen and just leave this going for a little while. Brightness does work. We're at max screen brightness, are we? Wow, this screen is not very bright. I'll tell you that much, but we're gonna check. Till the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna just check everything. Yep. Yeah, everything looks good. Yep. Everything is good. So that's about it for this one. Pretty easy stuff. Standard. It's a shame that seller sold us that, sold us this, I mean, it works, but you don't want to, if you're fixing someone else's thing, I mean, if you're okay with it, that's one thing, but if you're fixing someone else's thing, you want to make sure they're okay with it and that they or like if that's your only option, you want to make sure that the customer knows that, the owner knows that, and then if you have options to make it better, get a better part, obviously you want to get the new part. I mean, we bought it assuming it was new, and it's not the case. So I went and contacted the supplier. I'm gonna tell the owner about this and see, just let him pick it up, and when we get the other one, just have him drop it back off. All right, peace.